Hi there everyone, my name's Dave West, I hope we're all doing well. So welcome to my review then for the Mobvoi TicWatch Pro 3 Ultra GPS. Yes, a bit of a mouthful, but this is a really excellent smartwatch and I've been using this now for the past 3 weeks as my main smartwatch. I say my main smartwatch, I don't even have a smartwatch. I usually use a mechanical fossil watch, but Mobvoi were very kind and sent this out for the purpose of this review. And a quick disclaimer, it was free of charge, but everything you see and hear in this video is all my own opinion and hasn't been swayed by the fact that the watch was sent to me free of charge. Now, the TicWatch Pro 3 Ultra retails around about £290 here in the UK. But I have noticed there are a couple of offers now and again on Amazon and other websites, so you can get it for a little bit cheaper. Now, whether it's worth the money or not is completely down to your own personal perception. I don't want to get too much into that because obviously everyone's idea of value is completely different, but I'll discuss that a little bit towards the end of the video. Now, as far as specifications go, I won't go into too much detail during the review. What I will do is flash up all of the main specifications up on the screen now, and I'll leave a link in the description so you can go and see the full specification list and check that out in your own time. Now, this is using a version of Wear OS 3, which is obviously for Android. Now, this does also work with iPhones as well, so you can download the Wear OS app on your iPhone and you can use that, and it does work actually really well. I will actually do a follow-up video showing how it works with the iPhone, but for the time being I've had this connected to my Galaxy S22 and also my Oppo Find X5 for the purpose of this review over the last 3 weeks. So I'm just going to do a quick rundown of the packaging. Now, it comes in this really smart looking black box, and inside of this you'll find the watch. You'll also find a proprietary charger with magnetic pogo pins on the back and the usual customary safety and warranty information as well. Now, in terms of build quality, the watch feels really sturdy and really well made. Even though these top sections here of the watch are actually plastic, it actually feels really nicely constructed and it doesn't bend or creak or anything like that once you're wearing it, so that's a really good thing. Now, the straps themselves are the standard 22mm size, and the good thing is you can replace these with other 22mm straps. Just turn the watch over and each of the straps has a little release pin which you just flick to one side, and then you can remove the strap and then put your own ones on if you like. But I do actually quite like this rubber strap which comes with the watch. It's nice and comfortable. Now, as with most watches, you will get a little bit of nasty sweaty mess underneath the side of the watch, but that is something you can't avoid with any watch in my personal opinion. It happens all of the time, so that's not TicWatch's fault. But the strap itself has got plenty of adjustment for most wrists, and I find it very comfortable to use over longer periods. Now, you might have noticed while I'm flicking my hand up and down here that the screen goes from this to this secondary display, which I'll talk a little bit more about in a minute. It's an extremely useful and handy feature in my opinion, and it's something I've really come to enjoy about this watch every day. Quick thing to mention is that when the battery is almost expelled in the watch, this little secondary screen stays on, so you get a good couple of hours worth of this secondary screen, so you can still actually tell the time. Now, I've tried a number of smartwatches over the years. I've tried the Galaxy Gear S3 Frontier, the TicWatch, whatever they're called, connected smartwatch, and I've also tried the good old Moto 360, the original. And obviously once the battery goes, you've got nothing left. But with this, when you write really down to the reserves of the battery, you've still got this secondary display so you can tell the time. I mean, the best thing about a watch, especially with a smartwatch, is that it can do all these brilliant things, but once the battery's gone, you can't tell the time, then no, it's not really much good. Yes, I know you're probably going to have your phone with you, but it's a watch, and watch's primary function in its most basic form is to tell the time, and I really love this secondary watch face. Now, there's a number of different colors you can actually customize this secondary display with, so I've just got the standard plain white background. It doesn't look white, I know it's more gray, but you can actually change it to other colors if you like in the customization settings, which is really good. Now, up on the side of the watch on the right hand side here, you've got these two hardware buttons on the side here. Now, they're nice and tactile and they feel nicely made. They don't kind of wobble around in the chassis or anything, which is really good. So your top button here takes you to all of your main apps which are installed on the watch. Now, you can install apps directly from the watch if you like, but I find it's easier to use the partner Wear OS app on your smartphone and just push them to the watch, and then they will install, and then you can use them as you like. I haven't used Wear OS for quite some time, so I was quite surprised at how well it's come on over the last few years. The first time I used it, the app selection was sparse and the actual performance of it was quite poor. So it's nice to see that Google have made really good progress with Wear OS over the years, because it feels like a much more polished and much more usable OS in my opinion, particularly for this tiny little watch. Now, quick push on the bottom button here, and this will take you to the TicWatch exclusive applications, and there is absolutely loads in here. So many different options for different kinds of sports in here, and there's just way too many to mention here or to try. Obviously, you know, I've not had a commando brawl for quite some time, or played cricket, or danced. So you know, you can get the idea that there's loads and loads in here, and TicWatch have really covered quite a lot of bases in terms of the software. As far as general navigation goes, you can see it's really smooth, it's nice and snappy, and it does everything you can reasonably ask it to do. There are a couple of hiccups now and again in the software. Sometimes it just plods away or it hangs sometimes, but it's very few and far between. And on the whole, I think this has been a really good watch, and I've been pleasantly surprised with the performance of Wear OS on the whole. Now, if you want to know which watch face this is the Pixel UI watch face. Now, this is a paid application which you can download from the Play Store, and I'll pop a link in the description so you can check it out in your own time. It's a really nice watch face. It's really minimal, and it's very googly, as you can see here. You know, the actual font and everything is very much like when you look at a Pixel, for example, and I think it's a really nice watch face. Now, if you want to download some more, you just quickly press and hold on the display, and it'll take you to a selection of other watch faces. Now, you would actually see more here if you were using this brand new, but I've actually swiped them away because I don't actually like them that much. Now, this particular one here, this is the one which is installed from factory settings when you set up the watch, and I actually think it's quite a nice watch face for something which is the default option. It's nice and bright, and you can easily tell what the time is, and it's got some essential information like the battery, date and time, etc., which looks really nice. But if you press and hold and then you switch over to the right hand side, see more watch faces, and then you've got this plentiful list of different watch faces you can pick from to suit your own taste. So I'm just going to go back to this Pixel watch face that I just had now. There we go. And you just tap on, and then it will install itself into place. So you can just see there just how good the navigation is on the TicWatch. Really good. Very surprised at how good it is. Now, one thing that Mobvoi are really keen to talk about is the battery life on this watch. Now, when I had the watch, in the reviewer's pack it said to switch it on, charge it up to full, and then switch everything on. So switch on all of the sensors and everything. So that's what I did. So for the first couple of days, while the battery was still learning, I'm supposing, I probably got about 2 days worth of battery life out of the watch using it in its smart connected form. But then on the second recharge, I actually got a full 3 days worth of usage out of this thing, which is really impressive for a smartwatch which is so compact. If you imagine the size of the battery they've had to put in this and how compact it is, it's very good how long this will last. But bear in mind, if you start hammering it and start doing more things with it, like having the screen on for longer, etc., then bear in mind that your battery life is going to be relative to your usage. But if you use it moderately throughout the day, just for a few quick things, like, you know, using Google Maps for navigation, or if you're just using it to tap your train ticket when you're coming into work, for example, then you are going to see, I would say, realistically, around about 2 days worth of usage. But if you're going to be really minimal with it, then you're going to get that 3 days worth of battery life. Now, you can use Essential Mode, which essentially just turns on this secondary display, and you can supposedly get a full 45 days of usage from it. Now, obviously, I haven't had the chance to actually check that, but I will actually try it myself and see how long I can get it to last. But on the whole, battery-wise, I've been really happy with this. It hasn't been a day where I've thought, oh God, this watch is running out of juice really quickly. I think the most important thing you need to know is that it will easily sail through a whole day without any trouble whatsoever. So you've got to worry about battery anxiety, maybe when you're out and about and you're thinking, oh my God, is this watch going to last me? Then it will easily see you through a full day, even using it in smart mode, which is great. Now, as I said at the top of the video there, it does use a proprietary charger. Now, again, it's no big deal breaker, to be perfectly honest, but I would like to see future iterations of this watch with proper wireless charging, Qi wireless charging. So you can just pop it on a wireless charging mat, or you can just pop it on the back of your phone if your phone has reverse wireless charging, which a great many Android devices now have. But on the whole, charging time is pretty quick, and if you're working or if you're sleeping, you can just plug it in and then it'll just charge up overnight and you won't have any issues at all, or charge it while you're working throughout the day and it'll be fully charged, ready for when you want to do whatever you want to do after work. Now, one of the reasons I came outside is because I've read a couple of reviews where people were interested to see how the AMOLED display works outside. Now, it is an OLED display. Now, I had to check first of all because it's not as inky black as I expected it to be. Now, I suspect that's because of this dual display functionality. But as you can see here, I mean, it's not purely bright sunlight, as you can see. The actual brightness of the screen is absolutely perfect for my usage. Now, you do have a number of brightness settings. Now, if you want to go into settings, you just pull down from the top of the display, click the settings cog here and go into display, and you can change your watch face, adjust the brightness, adjust the font size. You can have it always on screen. I wouldn't recommend that because you will rinse your battery really quickly. You've got touch lock functionality, so you can literally just touch the screen that will lock, and you've then got this screen timeout. Now, this is one of the things which has really bugged me about this watch. Now, I get it, it's not something you're going to be using all day long, just staring at the display, but this 15-second timer on the display can get a little bit annoying. I really wish there was like a 30-second or 1 minute selection there. As you can see, it's gone off now when I'm trying to explain to you. Now, whilst some people that might not be a problem, it is for me personally. It's really got on my nerves because when I was trying to do the review and get some B-roll with the watch, for example, having to really time those B-roll sections just so I can get enough screen on time with the watch was a little bit annoying. And you can see there, it kind of just seems to time out so quickly. Now, with the vibration patterns, you've got a long vibration, you've got a double vibration and a short vibration. Now, having that little vibration on your wrist is so handy. The amount of times I've been shopping just with my phone, and even though I've got the ringer on and full, because it's so loud in the supermarket, so many people chattering and checkouts and music in the store, etc., sometimes I will miss the call. But having this little courtesy vibration against your wrist is so handy because it means you essentially will never need to miss a call, which is excellent. And I suppose, you know, I sometimes value, you know, what a smartwatch can do for you. But I haven't used this for longer than a couple of days, which I have done with previous smartwatches. I can really see the value in actually having one and what it can actually do overall for you. So kudos for that, because it's a really neat feature. It's nothing new, but it is great to have that feature. Talking of vibration, it is a little bit buzzy. It feels like a phone from sort of 5 years ago. Nowadays, you've got these really great haptics on phones. It's sort of got a nice thunky click to the actual vibration, whereas this is a proper buzzy vibration motor. It feels a little bit old-fashioned, but on the whole, it does the job and it does it really well. So I can't really grumble. It is a watch after all, and I'm not expecting it to have everything. Now, one small annoyance I have with this watch is the sensors. Now you can see it's found the GPS now, but it's taken a good 30 seconds before I press record to actually get the GPS signal. Now, whilst you can probably set it before you leave the house, if you're in a bit of a rush and you're out and about and you want to get one of your fitness goals going, then having it trying to find the GPS transmission is a little bit annoying. But when it does actually work, it actually works really well. So you can see with this AMOLED display, it's really, really nice. You've got a deep black until these colours really pop through on the display. So with all that out of the way then, I suppose you want to know if the TicWatch Pro 3 Ultra GPS is worth buying or not. Now, as I said at the top of the video, some people may think, well, £290 seems quite expensive for a smartwatch, but as with most things in life, you get out what you put in. If you're going to be investing in something like this, then if you use it every single day and use all of the different features, etc., then you will get your money's worth. If you kind of break it down into a daily cost over a year, you can probably get quite a bit of value from something like this. As a smartwatch, I think it's really good indeed. It's a nice polished experience. It looks and feels really nice to wear as well. I've had plenty of people asking, you know, what watch is that you've got on there, Dave? But I'll leave that up to you to judge, because everyone's tastes are different. But on the whole, I think this is a really good smartwatch, and it is thoroughly recommended if you're in the market for something like this. But for now, I'm really happy with this smartwatch. And like I said at the start of the video, it's not because I had it for free. You know, if I had £290 to spend on a smartwatch and I bought this, I would not be disappointed or gutted whatsoever. But if you've got any comments or questions about anything you've seen in this video, then please do let me know down in the comments and I will get back to you as soon as possible. And don't forget, if you're new around here, then please do consider subscribing so you don't miss more videos coming like this on the channel very, very soon. But for now, this has been my review for the Mobvoi TicWatch Pro 3 Ultra GPS. My name is Dave West, and I'll catch you guys later.